How are you? Is this on?
Yeah, it might need to be a little.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? All those autographs that nobody's signing at the moment because you're not there. Thank you.
Poor, lonely Annika Wills hanging around
poor
outside. First of all, I have a first question that I think is a new first question. You've never been asked, I think.
Go for it, go on.
Here we are. Colin Baker, star of Doctor Who, renowned stage actor, very fine writer, may I say.
You may.
And most recently, the runaway scene stealer from The Five-ish Doctor.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Why, here's my question, why, Colin Baker, are you so awesome?
If I'm going to take that question seriously, and if it were true, it would be the benefit of having good women in my life. My mother, my wife, and my daughters. There you are.
There you are. Well played. Well played.
Because they wouldn't let me be any other way.
We got to see...
In fact, whenever I come home, my children all go, oh. So I must be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. Oh, no.
We got to see a little bit of your lovely family in The Five-ish Doctor.
You did indeed, yes.
That was, it was really heartwarming to see. And strangely enough, that's exactly how my family treat me. It's exactly like that. Because I'm Mr. Pun in my family, and they just love you.
That's healthy. That's healthy.
How did you, this is sort of a two-part question. A, were they interested in being in The Five Doctors? Did you have to persuade Five-ish? Did you have to persuade them? And the other is, did Peter write them and you, obviously in a way that you approved, but I mean, did you make any script changes? Did they make any script changes?
No, Peter wrote it. I'm a great believer in letting writers write and directors direct, and I try and say what's there. And I don't recall, Peter might correct you on this, but I don't recall having any input whatsoever other than turning up and saying the lines, because he did such a good job writing it. It goes against the grain to be polite about another Doctor. But,
he was your arch rival for quite a while back in the 90s.
Yeah, and he did a really good job on that. Getting the whole thing going in the first place.
Yes.
And B, it was a very good script. And to answer the bit about my family, when it was suggested they might be in it, they thought it was a lovely... I think my wife went, oh, God, do I have to? But the girls were all delighted, particularly the youngest, who is currently at drama school, so any opportunity to be in front of a screen.
That was actually going to be my next question. Your daughters are grown now.
Yep.
One of them is obviously following in your footsteps.
Yeah, the youngest.
What about the others?
My oldest daughter, Lucy, she's a school teacher, and she has written a book. Thank you.
There's a Lucy fan over there.
Which you will find on my autograph table. And this is some of the artwork from it. It's about a rhinoceros who's looking for a mate. So if you know any shy female rhinoceri looking for a handsome husband, actually I can see quite a few of you out there. Then this book will tell you how to find a mate. It's quite charming and beautifully illustrated by Robin, who is the boyfriend of my second daughter, Bindi. Thank you. He's an artist who's comes from a good pedigree. His grandfather was, you may not have heard of him, but there was a famous artist in the 1930s in Britain called Heath Robinson, who used to draw impossible machines, basically. And he was a kind of comedic artist. And his grandson, Robin, drew these lovely pictures. So it's there if you want it. So that's Lucy. She used to work for the BBC as a researcher and then an associate producer. But she decided that she wanted to get back to basics and work with kids, so she's a teacher. My second daughter, Bindi, her of the artistic boyfriend, she's a singer. She sings with a couple of bands, and also with a rock gospel choir in Bath.
I was just there.
Which has a lot of gigs. Can't remember what it's called. What's it called? But Bindi Baker, you can find her online. Number 3, Lally. My Lally, she's a media guru for someone on TV called the Super Vet.
You've
So
got a
glad you
family
came.
groupie over there.
He's a kind of charismatic vet who has a TV program, and all the animals that nobody else can fix, he fixes. And he's got this TV program as a result called Super Vet. Look it up online. And she's his, she does all his media stuff, his Twitter and his Facebook and all that. And my youngest daughter, Rosie, is in her second year at the Central School of Drama in London,
Very nice.
which is where Laurence Olivier went there, so it's probably all right.
Probably all right. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Such a vivacious group, you know?
Well, they're keeping busy,
Yeah.
and quite soon I might be able to stop supporting them. At the age of 30, 27, 25 and 23. Any fathers out here will know where I'm coming from. The Bank of Dad lives on, doesn't it?
One of the ways that you did that, that I don't think very many American fans know about too much, is that you wrote a newspaper column. And I think you're still doing it.
I'm still doing it, yeah.
For the Bucks Free Press.
The Bucks Free Press, which is the newspaper in the area in which I live. And I've written a weekly column for them for, well, how many years? The columns are numbered consecutively, and before I came over here, I wrote the 1111th 1111 column. And I've never missed a week, which I'm quite proud of. I'm going to try and find out whether it's a record, because usually when somebody's a columnist, they say, Fred Bloggs is away this week.
Yeah.
But I've written every single one. So
I'm afraid I don't know what kind of column it is. Are you an agony aunt?
not in the slightest.
What kind of column is it?
It's whatever I want to write about that week.
Oh, that's nice.
You may be amazed to hear what I wrote about this week.
I don't think we should even go
Hands
there.
up if you think you know. What is it? Correct. Yeah. Oh,
Alan for
It was
president.
irresistible.
The,
I had to point out that to my English readers that the American population didn't know what Trump meant. Because in England, it means fart. To children. Children don't say the F word, because that's rude. They say, did you Trump? And I think the answer is, yes, you did. I'm sorry if I offend anybody here.
It's okay.
It's my own opinion.
I'll tell you this much. You explaining that to me, at least, now this all makes so much more sense. But anyway, that's wonderful. And how did you, if I may ask, how did you get both the job and that degree of editorial freedom? I write for a living, and I don't get that.
Well, it all started when I wrote a letter to the paper. I can't remember what it was about now. And the editor wrote to me and said, they published my letter, and they said, do you fancy writing a column? And I started writing a column, and once or twice they tried to edit me. And I got a bit cross about it.
Yeah.
And the editor who, I won't explain why, but it was a sub-editor who changed a word that was really important. I'll tell you what it was. It's boring, but I was writing about local planning laws and the fact that somebody had put a children's Wendy house in their garden, but it was on a bit of land in their own garden that was designated agricultural land. So somebody reported them, they had to move it 6 feet to the left onto a bit of land that was not considered agricultural land. That's the kind of thing I was writing about. And I said, as I pick up my quill to write this article about planning laws, and the idea was that that implied that they were old-fashioned, and the sub-editor changed it to pen, because she failed completely to understand. And the editor agreed with me and changed it back, but he said, I think we'll leave you alone to write your own article. So I haven't been subbed since then.
Oh, that's nice. And you being a man of very varied interests, I imagine these columns are of a wide variety of topics.
Yeah,
with
whatever.
a wide variety of vocabulary. And I understand some of them have been collected.
Yeah, there were 2 volumes published, which are now out of print, and I'm going to re-edit them and to do them again, because there's 3 or 4 years more stuff since then.
Yeah?
So
wonderful.
look out for Look Who's Talking.
In America, Look Who's Talking is a terrible movie with animals.
Oh, is
So,
it?
yeah, you may want to consider changing the US title to
No,
Baker's Dozen.
I'll trump that movie. Oh, hey,
Hey, there you go.
Trump means something else in that. It's card games. Yeah, so it's a word with many meanings.
Very, very nice. You know, you get this question a lot, I'm sure, but your work in the Big Finish audios is just stunning. I just want to...
I really love doing them. I'm a gift to audio. I mean, look at me. Where's the best place to put me? On audio. I'm still blonde and curly hair. I'm slim. You don't have to look at the costume. There are so many advantages. And people are kind enough to say that my voice sounds pretty much the same. It might have dropped a note or two, but...
What I love about it is that you have infused the Sixth Doctor with as many new dimensions and new depth as the number of colors on that cut.
Okay.
That's right.
I thank you for that.
You know, I wondered about the process of recording them in the sense of when you receive the script. Are you one of these people who goes to the Sixth Doctor but say that we'll have to change that, or do you find that they generally the writers who almost all of whom have been fans of the show for ages have found your character? You know, they found the character and they know what to say.
I have to say, when I was doing the actual TV show, I did find myself saying, I'm not sure if the Sixth Doctor would say that. Or, can I change this line a little bit? I don't recall ever doing that much. In the only times, because I am a bit of a grammar and language snob in a way, and I love my vocabularies, and occasionally, very occasionally, there's been an error of either grammar or understanding what a word actually means. And I have suggested...
Like Trump.
Like
yes.
that. I've suggested very gently that it was wrong, if there is a general way of expressing that. But it's so rare, so rare. And I do read the scripts before I turn up in the studio, which I gather is quite unusual. And I will read
As
it.
Sophie was saying.
Interesting, on Tuesday I'm doing one when I get back. I arrive on Monday and on Tuesday I'm in the studio doing a recording of one. And I will read it going back on the plane, and then I'll read it again on Monday, and then we'll turn up and do it in the studio. And it's very rare that because I kind of think that if there's something, oh, would my doctor say that? I find a way of trying to make it work, unless it's so wrong.
Yeah.
Unless I say something like, I love Daleks and I want to kiss them all. Then I might ask if I can change that line.
Yeah.
You know, to stroke them or something.
Yeah.
But I can't recall many occasions when I've done that.
And it's obvious the Big Finish team do a great job of keeping all of their actors very happy. We never hear anything
as
but.
you have said, that the standard of writing is consistently higher than it needs to be, actually. Because you might say, you could get a duff one every now and then, but I've never had one that I would say, yeah, it's all right, but not quite as good as the last one. They're always good. And that is A, down to the writers, B, to the script editors, and C, to Nick Briggs sitting on the top of the whole pile.
Yeah.
Heaven knows how many drafts each script's gone through before I get it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's rare there's any problem that needs to be dealt with. And they're usually typographical errors rather than, you know, a missing S at the end of a word or something. And
Do you?
I get very smug. I miss the S on the end of that.
Do you? I know you enjoy doing them, but your co-stars, not just the like the new companions that you've had over the series, and but some of the other actors you've gotten to work with. Some of them from the old television show, maybe not from your era, a little mix and match, and of course working with some of the other doctors. Do you enjoy that? Do you?
Well, I work with anybody. I'm not picky. I've even worked with Sylvester. So there you are.
Clearly. Do you have a particular? I know you get this a lot too, but I have to ask. Do you?
You're going to ask me the F word?
Yes. Yes.
Good luck.
All right. What's your least favorite? No. Well, tell us if you wanted. How many of you, by the way, have had some Big Finish Colin Baker? Right? Good. But
not enough by the sound of it.
So, instead of a favorite, let's say, which?
How many haven't?
Yeah,
What are my
it's
big
okay.
finishes?
No shaming.
Lots of shame. I think they should all leave the room now.
What would you? What story would you
cheer
recommend?
and
What story
we'll
would
throw
you
things at you as you leave. My children need to eat, guys.
What story would you recommend that they introduce?
Start at the very beginning, as was said in a popular song.
That's
Oh dear. Sorry.
And now that they have download services, by the way, you can do.
But most people say something like Marion Conspiracy, which was a story with the lovely Maggie Stables, who was my companion for a few years, who was a lady of my own age, who was a history lecturer that I took off with me on my travels. And she gave the doctor a good run for his money. She kept old 60 under control. And Maggie Stables, who played Evelyn Smythe, was the loveliest of ladies and a lovely actress. And was no longer with us, and I miss her still. She was a great companion for my doctor.
It's one of the rare occasions in the entire history of Doctor Who where an older actor or actress, for that matter, gets to be a real companion.
Yeah, and these days it's an older actor who becomes a doctor as well.
Yeah.
And thank goodness they've got a grown-up doctor again. All these Tennants and Smiths, these boys who have been busting to get the girls to watch the programme. They underestimate women. Women don't want mere good looks. They want mature, older, wise men. And the more mature and older I get, the more I believe that.
You must have loved, I don't know if you recall it, but in the 50th anniversary special, John Hurt gets to tell David Tennant and Matt Smith off.
Quite right.
Yeah, by saying, I'm turning into you? What? You're wearing tennis shoes, for heaven's sakes.
Quite right, yes.
Undignified.
Now there's a good actor, John Hurt.
Yes, now he's in the family too, isn't that something?
I don't know what number, is he a number?
War Doctor!
Yeah, they've got to have a number.
No, I'm calling...
Doctors have numbers.
Yes. I'm calling him Dr. 9 3/4. How about that? Because most people never see him. He's just gone. But yeah, no, it's great.
Isn't that a platform number?
Yeah.
Sounds like
Well,
the
he was in
shoe
Harry
size.
Potter, so
He was.
there's a connection.
What was the platform number?
9.
I thought it was, yeah. I really hurt myself. I went to that station and tried it. I don't advise it. It hurts.
I think everybody here will say, you do such a superb job working with it. Can you tell us a little bit about The Light at the End, the 50th anniversary audio
I wish I could. The thing is with these stories, I don't know how many I've done now, but let's say it's 50 or something. And I read them a couple of times, I spend 2 days in the studio recording it. And then life takes over. Since I did The Light at the End, I've now done about 20 or 30 other recordings. So I can't remember a thing about it.
Yeah, right.
But the good thing about that is that the only chance I ever get to listen to them, because it would be kind of vainglorious to sit in my home and say, be quiet everybody, I want to listen to me and stop moving. So what I do is I have them in the car. So when I'm going to a convention that I know is going to take at least 2 hours to get there, I will listen to one of my old, and nobody knows how conceited I am listening to myself.